This story by Christina287 with an update. Am I the a-hole for not taking in my pregnant sister? Welcome back! My name's Jack, the snack that smiles back. If you're here, you're joining me to find out who is the a-holes today. But enough dibbler-dabbler, let's get started on the stories. I, 23 female, don't want to let my 21-year-old pregnant sister move into my apartment. Her and her husband, I'll call him A, had a recent falling out and are taking a break from each other. He left my sister's place and moved in somewhere else, and she recently got evicted. Bit of backstory. I let her stay at my place twice earlier in the pregnancy when her and A were still together. She made a disaster, left food stains on the bedsheets and left her dirty clothes and dishes all over the place, and got mad when I called her out. A refuses to take her in, and my sister is blaming me for not housing her, even though she got evicted because she didn't pay the rent. My place isn't a penthouse or anything cool, but she's messy, lazy, and doesn't have a job. She's due in a month and wanted to stay at least another 4 months, and I really don't want to have a screaming infant in my house, especially because I have extremely early shifts as a paramedic. After I told her no and apologized, she called me every name under the sun and told our parents. They called me absolutely furious, despite not wanting to take her in either, and demanded I give her the guest bedroom until her and A get back together. Side note, I'm paying for this place fully, not my parents or sister. When I said that I wouldn't do that, they called me disgusting and said that they didn't want anything to do with me until I take her in. I was also told that I'm not welcome at their house or any family functions like Christmas or Thanksgiving. Am I the a-hole? Natar, parents are busting your chops because they don't want the problem of housing her. And honestly, I don't blame you. That's a problem that will not go away until you evict her, and then everyone will give you grief for that. Tell your parents you don't have room for a jobless new mother and baby. Yes, you are the a-hole. She's messy. So fricking what? You want your pregnant sister to be fricking homeless? You are heartless. And from your, well, she got evicted because she didn't pay the rent attitude, mother flipper, how is anyone supposed to pay the rent? Especially if they're pregnant. Nobody should have to pay rent right now. It should be illegal to evict someone right now. How the frick's anyone paying rent? The frick is wrong with you? Now, I do have to question where exactly in the world this person is for this to be an issue as to whether or not they can pay rent. Personally, I'm not on the side of no one having to pay rent at all. I do, however, agree that there should be some sort of subsidy, or at least less rent having to be paid until the foreseeable future. If I was in this situation, I'd maybe force her to sign some sort of lease agreement so she can at least stay, but she has to be out by those 4 months. And they can accuse you all they want about how heartless you are. Reality is, you have a justifiable reason that you can't really take the time to handle dealing with a newly born child. Because let's face it, the moment that kid is out of the womb, she's going to be expecting you to be babysitting at some point. Especially if she eventually gets a job again soon. Now that was 2 months ago, so here's the update. After the post, my mother and sister threatened to call my boss and have me fired. Thankfully, as a paramedic, my boss knows the bull smack when he hears it. I still have my job. I decided to cut off all contact from my parents and sister, despite them being biologically related to me. Her child was born and is around 1 month old, I'm assuming. I don't even know the gender of her child or the name. I'm honestly okay with it. Now, I wouldn't have minded having a relationship with my niece or nephew, but I already know the child would have grown up hating me, as taught by my sister. As for her living situation, I honestly don't know. Last I know is that our aunt let her stay for a week. I haven't heard from her since a little after my last post. My life has been a lot better since then, and I feel I made the best choice by cutting them off. Throughout all of this, I realized family doesn't always mean you have to be related by blood. Family can be whoever you make it, and I met some of the best people these last few years, who to me are family. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of you guys, so thank you all. Good for you! I had to cut off my sister 18 months ago. It was hard, but my God, my life is infinitely better. She also had a child in that time. I have no relationship with him. But I'm told by my niece that she regularly curses me out to him, a literal baby. She has tried getting to me through various avenues, including my work, but all in all, I'm good. Keep doing you. You only get one life after all. Overall, it seemed everyone was unanimously in agreement that the woman did a good job here by simply cutting off ties. And honestly, the fact they tried to get you fired by calling your boss up, that's real petty. And if anything, further paints them in a bad enough light that I agree you shouldn't feel bad at all to cut ties with them. Though I still ponder if it was also petty on your end, to outright deny her a second chance to live with you just because of her past. Yes, she was a mess, and that is inexcusable, but I feel like she should have at least been given a second chance. After all, maybe it was her partner influencing her to be so lazy and disgusting. With him more out of the picture, maybe you might have been able to influence her for the better. Of course, that's just a what-if scenario. Too late to change it now. This story by a throwaway. Am I the a-hole for getting coffee with a stranger after my girlfriend says it's over? Kind of a long story, but here goes. Few nights ago, my lady and I got into a pretty heated argument consisting of her essentially telling me to abandon all hope. She was done with me. We own a home together, and she said she wanted to sell it and part ways. Doesn't love me anymore, isn't attracted to me anymore. We should see other people. The works. Next day, I'm at work feeling depressed and confused, and a strange female randomly gives me her number. We agree to meet for coffee, and do. Here, I'll admit I made my mistakes. I should not have met up with the female in my state of vulnerability like that. It's embarrassing in hindsight, and admittedly, a stupid idea. The other component is that my girlfriend has always been liberal with threats of leaving. It's not the first time she's made an argument like that, but it was the first time I really believed her. This one was pretty convincing. I know I should have fought harder, but at the time, she genuinely appeared to be done, so I just resigned and agreed. I come home late after the coffee and try to lie by omission. After all, if I'm single and can do what I want, there's no sense in telling her because I didn't want to fight again. It was just coffee, and during the conversation, I was forthcoming about not knowing where I stand in my current situation and really could just use a friend. It was a little flirty, but overall just friendly. After all, it was the first conversation with a stranger. I eventually told my girlfriend what I was out doing, what the conversation with the stranger consisted of, and, as expected, we got into another argument. She ends up physically leaving, saying now she's really done. This was the coffin nail, etc. Told me to pack my stuff again. She's currently at her parents' house, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I want the relationship to work. We have a mutual commitment to each other by virtue of our home and our pets. I love her, but I'm not sure about how she feels about me anymore. I want to reach out to her, but I don't know if she needs space or if I should try to talk to her. I don't know how to get in touch with a couples therapist or if she would even consider it. I don't know if she's really done. If there's any clarification or elaboration you all need, just ask. I'll provide it. I just want to do the right thing. I want to try and fix it, but I don't know what to think. Thanks for reading. Bro, that relationship does not sound healthy. People in healthy relationships don't threaten to leave constantly. She's doing you a favor. Good luck, and AmiTheA. AmiTheA! It sounds like she is an emotional manipulator. Always threatening to leave and telling you to pack your stuff all the time would be exhausting. It sounds like she wants this relationship to finally be done, so you just need to let it go. She could do things to make this all difficult for you, so you need to protect yourself. Firstly, if you own part of your place, you do not have to pack your stuff and leave if you don't want to. She cannot force you off your property. Secondly, get a lawyer quick. Protect your assets, or she could try to take those things that don't belong to her. If you wanted this relationship to work, you wouldn't have gone on a coffee date with a stranger. You pulled a Ross from Friends, and I don't think anything you do will get her to come back to you now. Good luck. You needed a friend to talk to, and one came along. I hope you can reconcile after she has time to reconsider her standing and comes to terms with her overreaction. I appreciate you understanding. The bit about me needing a friend was really what it boiled down to. I don't really have anyone I can talk to about stuff like this. I try to keep my friends and family out of our relationship business, and it just seemed safer with a stranger who I had no attachment to. I don't know. I guess I can only hope that whatever happens is for the best. I'll agree with the theory of emotional manipulation here. Even if she isn't fully intending to be leaving you and is just using this as a way to express her fear and upset at what you've done, it's still abusive and toxic regardless. She's valid to be hurt and to express her disappointment in what you've done, but she's not free to execute such decided ultimatums on you. Look, if you want to keep pursuing her, all the best. But she's clearly not paying attention to how she's making you feel. The fact your partner has to resort to speaking to some random stranger to get a better clarity on the relationship should be alarm bells in her head about how she's treating you. Of course, that doesn't work in every circumstance, but here I think it applies quite well.
Hey, just noticing you're quite a bit in the video and you haven't liked it yet. Could you maybe do that for just please? Thanks. Cheers.
This story gives us both sides of the argument, but I won't give an inch. My boyfriend prefers the attention he gets for his good looks instead of my feelings. Throwaway here. My boyfriend, male 23, and me, female 25, have a disagreement about his behavior, and we're going to each tell our side. You all get to decide who's the a-hole. I'm going first, because ladies first. Boyfriend and I have been living together since the virus hit, and everything is great. We're on leave from our jobs, but we've been contacted about going back. He works as a lifeguard and swim instructor at a gym, and I work in the office at the same place. We don't see much of each other there because our jobs aren't in the same area, obviously. I've decided that when we go back, he needs to stop wearing his tiny Speedos because he has other options. It's so little, it looks like it can't hold everything. And if you look real close, you might see some things you shouldn't be looking at. This is a problem because it's very full down there. It's way too low too, and he won't manscape. I'm tired of being worried and angry at the girls in the pool who ignore the fact that he's dating me. Gays watch him too, and they flirt with him because he's almost naked. I want him to wear shorts or jammers, but he won't, even though he knows I don't like it. He doesn't seem to care about how I feel, and I think this is disrespectful. When I hid the Speedo to show him I was serious, he just got mad. He's choosing a Speedo over me, and now he won't talk about it anymore. Now, how do you tell if it's the boyfriend talking? Well, it's pretty obvious. Boyfriend here. 1, it's a swimsuit. It does the job. I wear what's expected for my position. 2, other male staff wear Speedos. I don't stand out. 3, it's provided by the gym and is considered standard and appropriate. I swim on a master's swim team and play on a water polo team. This is what I wear. 4, I've worn a Speedo since middle school swim team. They provide excellent support, which I prefer. 5, yes, Speedos are small. This is not unusual. 6, I'm a guy and guys come with junk. I'm not embarrassed. 7, women sometimes hit on me. I don't wear a wedding ring, so this is understandable. I tell them no, that I'm in a relationship, and I politely thank them for the offer. 8, guys sometimes hit on me. I'm not homophobic. I don't think I've ever thought of as gay as bad. I don't get upset if a guy asks me out. I tell him I'm straight, thank him for the attention, and compliment his bravery. Also, Speedos aren't gay or straight. They're swimwear. 9, people sometimes hit on me when I'm clothed too. 10, girlfriend and I first met when she came up to me and said, nice suit. 11, she wears a bikini that's smaller than my Speedo. I'm not bothered by the attention she gets. 12, her obsession with this seems to reflect feelings about herself because that's what she talks about. 13, I care about her feelings, but I don't give in to her demands just because she makes them. 14, it's not that I won't talk about it, it's that she won't let it go until she convinces me. It's no longer a discussion, it's a lecture. And lastly, it's none of her business. Place your bets now as to who you think the winner is in this one. Heck, even type yours down below now so we can see what the results will be on this end. As for on the original post, well, it seems that it's quite in one side's favor completely. Yata, to the girlfriend. If my boyfriend told me I had to wear boy shorts when I swim instead of bikini bottoms because he was uncomfortable, and then went so far as to hide the bottoms, I'd legitimately dump him. You know the whole my body, my choice argument? That applies to men too. Girlfriend yata. This is an abusive form of control. You can't have a conversation when you're not listening to the other side of the argument. The only one being disrespectful here is you. Gfyata. It's his uniform. Others are wearing it. You don't seem to think he's cheating, but rather don't want him to be looked at. Not good. Also, gays look at him? What the frick? How about gay men or gay guys? Yeah, I felt them saying the term gays was a bit derogative? Though I don't think it was on purpose to come across that way, so I don't think we should hold them for that. Controlling what your partner wears is very abusive behavior. Either you trust him or you don't. If you don't trust him, then why are you with him? If you do trust him, stop worrying about other women and let him wear what he wants to wear. Hiding his clothes is also very controlling and abusive behavior. Not to mention it's incredibly immature. Honestly, you sound like you're 15, not 25. I actually had to go back and double check your age. Maybe you aren't ready for a relationship. I'm siding with the boyfriend because it appears to me that this stems from the insecurity of the girlfriend, rather than shady behavior. I understand how you feel, OP, but at the end of the day, what you're feeling is your own responsibility, not his. It's hard to come to that realization, and very easy to ask others to accommodate us in our weaker areas, but eventually you'll have to face yourself. It might be good to reflect on why you're feeling these things, especially since he isn't acting upon any of the advances or anything. That being said, your boyfriend could be a bit more gentle in dealing with it, but he's not wrong. At any rate, best to you both. You think Reddit's in the right? Is the girlfriend the complete a-hole in this scenario, or is she valid? After all, it's possible he's purposely letting himself wear this stuff because he enjoys the attention. Personally, I'd be quite proud if my partner was getting a lot of attention because it just makes me more prideful in knowing that she's my girlfriend. Of course, I don't treat her as a trophy as well. There's a difference between being prideful of who you're dating and, treating them like an object. But what's your thoughts? Maybe you've experienced some of this yourself or dated someone who made this problem arise. Let me know.
That does us for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking at my face right now, that means you liked this video. So all I appreciate is if you would like the video back. Because if you like it, then I'll like you for liking the video, and then I can make more stuff for you to like that you can like. And it'll be just a constant cycle of never-ending pain and suffering. So don't do it alone. Suffer with me. I don't know where I was going with that. If you haven't subscribed but you want to see some more content, then please, what are you waiting for? Click that notification bell so you're always updated on the latest content. And hey, why not check out some other videos while you're here? But anyway, that does me for today. Thank you again for watching. You're an amazing person. I love rambling at you. And I look forward to you staring at me beyond the abyss. Again, soon. I can't close well. Don't at me, okay? My name's been Jack. Bye-bye. You're amazing. See ya.